Welcome everyone, I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and now that all of the film has been watched and all of the grades are in, it's time for the FBGP Scouting NFL Draft Prospect Preview presented by Crossover. Before we get started with our rankings, here's how we gather our grades and what they actually mean. First, we watch a minimum of 3 full games on a prospect, his best game, his worst game, and the best possible matchup. And second, we grade on 15 key points specific to the position to equal 100 points in total. Now here's what the grades you'll see by a prospect name will actually mean. Prospects that have earned grades in the 90s graded out as potential future NFL All-Pros. Prospects in the 80s are considered future Pro Bowl players. Grades in the 70s represent solid NFL starters, and grades in the 60s are players that we believe are spot starters or situational starters in the NFL. And if you notice, we don't use the word reserve or backup because we personally feel as though there's no such thing as backups in the NFL, only starters in waiting. So without further ado, let's kick off our rankings by taking a look at our top 10. Amara Darboh graded out as our #1 rated split end. Darboh's game is very similar to Pierre Garçon. I believe he can play all 3 of the receiver positions, and what stood out to me the most about his game is how clutch of a receiver he really is. Michigan looks for Darboh on a lot of third down situations, and here versus Utah pulled all of his third down receptions. And in the first example, he runs a short in route, makes a reception, and immediately heads upfield for the first down, even showing some toughness by putting down his shoulder against a defender. The next play, another third and medium situation. On the quick slant, he goes low to secure the catch, and this reminded me of the play he made this past season against Michigan in the back of the end zone on 4th down, which was again another clutch play made by number 82. And the final example, I love the toughness here in a route by Darboh as he beats the corner off the line of scrimmage, stacks him, which makes it very tough for the defensive back to get back into the play, runs the curl route, and makes the grab on 3rd and medium. So Darboh has good explosiveness, is a savvy route runner, and does the dirty work you want your wideout to do on any given play. I'm a big fan of his game and believe he'll hit the ground running as a rookie. Looking at the rest of our top 10, Carlos Henderson of Louisiana Tech and Mike Williams out of Clemson are 2 outstanding wide receivers, and Henderson has the run after the catch skills that you want, while Williams has shown the great ability to play above the rim while also showing the clutch factor that Darboh has. Carell Hamilton out of Samford is a true sleeper and is coming off a magnificent East-West Shrine game week. He also performed big time in the biggest of games. He lit up Mississippi State this past season for over 200 yards receiving. John Ross, in my opinion, is best as an outside receiver, and I've compared his game to Brandon Cooks of the New England Patriots. Don't let the size fool you. He has the quickness and speed to consistently win outside the numbers. Chad Williams of Grambling State has some of the strongest hands in this year's draft class. Your quintessential wide receiver, your ex-receiver, he's coming off a very good Senior Bowl week, and Isaiah Ford of Virginia Tech is an athletic wideout that shows a willingness to sacrifice for the reception. Keep an eye on both Ishmael Zamora and Willie Young out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Both are physical wide receivers that are very strong at the catch point. Josh Reynolds of Texas A&M has tremendous talent. He's 6'3", 197, and in my opinion, he has the skill to play the X or the Z in the NFL. What I find great about his game is the athleticism that he possesses for the position. You see here versus Alabama at the top of the screen, Reynolds is able to contort his body quickly to go up and make this grab before the safety comes over to deliver the blow. You like to see your wide receivers have that type of spatial awareness to make a play, and this time they move him across the field on a drag route, and he shows that he's not afraid to go over the middle. And finally, once again, you'll see him win off the line of scrimmage, stop on a dime, and make the back shoulder reception. If you watch the bowl game this year versus Kansas State or the game versus LSU, you know that Reynolds tracks the football extremely well, which in my opinion makes him a legit deep threat. Moving on to 11 through 20, and I like the physicality of this group. Jameson Parsons was a former quarterback that made the move to wide receiver for St. Cloud State and has the upside that you look for. Robert Davis is coming off a record-breaking career at Georgia State and a terrific NFL scouting combine. I believe Speedy Noyle and D'Angelo Yancey have the upside potential to be much better pros than what they were in college. Noyle has the explosiveness and the strength, while Yancey has the physicality and the underrated underrated deep speed. Both are strong at the catch point, and both have also battled nagging injuries in college. Jalen Robinette and Fred Ross impressed many with their performances at the East-West Shrine game and Senior Bowl respectively. Robinette actually played in both games, and when you look at Jamari Staples of Louisville, he shows a high level of competency in breaking routes with a strength at the catch point that you look for at the position. I really like Denzel Keys of North Carolina A&T. He has the right attitude to play the position. I'm talking about a prospect that has a Dez Bryant-like mentality when he's on the field. He's not as explosive as Bryant, but you like how he wants to make the defensive back or any cornerback look foolish on every play that he's out there. Keys' game, in my opinion, actually compares to Marcus Colston. He's 6'4", 215, that's able to play the big man game if you want him to. Also the short, quick game on the outside. He has tremendous hand strength to go up and make the catch on the 50-50 ball while also showing the ability to win with his route running. I believe he can play either the X or inside F position as well, and is definitely one of those deep sleepers that you look for in this draft class. And it's coming out a pro-style offense where he had to run the entire route tree and was consistently counted on to make plays on third downs and also inside the red zone. And he was able to execute both very flawlessly throughout the course of his collegiate career. Another deep sleeper in this draft class with tremendous skill is Spearman Robinson of Western Carolina. The 6'3", 215-pound wideout has very good initial burst off the line of scrimmage and is also able to maintain that burst within his route. I also feel as though that he has a frame to get up to about 225 pounds in the NFL. He was also a big-time player against the top competition that they faced at Western Carolina. What stands out to me about his game the most is his amazing body control. Robinson doesn't mind sacrificing his body for the reception and also shows above average run after the catch skills as well. You'll like to see him get a bit stronger within his route running as a pro, but as far as the acceleration, the body control, and at the catch point is concerned, he definitely has everything that you want at the position. Kupp out of Eastern Washington is a very polarizing wide receiver prospect in this year's draft class, a prolific wide receiver that broke all of Jerry Rice's collegiate records in NCAA history, has to still prove himself in the eyes of some, but not here at Football Game Plan because we recognize the uniqueness of his talents, and it's his versatility that I believe is his best trait. The main argument that you get from some is that they don't know where to play him in the NFL. In my opinion, Kupp has the skills and the savvy to play all four wide receiver positions. At Eastern Washington, he was utilized all across the formation and produced everywhere he was aligned. So yes, he can play well in the slot, but I think he's better on the outside. He is as consistent as they come, and it definitely shows up when the lights are on and are the brightest, and that's what you want to see from a big-time receiver prospect. You're seeing him compete at a high level here versus Washington State. For him, projecting to the next level, and where you want to see him get better, I think is in his footwork. Can he become quicker is a question, and to me, that's why he's not as ideal inside as a slot receiver as some are saying. But what I do know is that if you need someone to get open and catch the football, then definitely Cooper Kupp is your guy. Rounding out our split-end rankings with wide receivers ranked 20th through 26, I like the productivity of this group. Aaron Sanders of VMI and Bug Howard of North Carolina are wiry built wide receivers with very good athleticism. Anthony Warren was the man at Illinois State the last 2 seasons and works well in the short to intermediate area. Sebastian Smith, Michael Clark Jr., and Devin Childress of North Park are your high point specialists that could also transition inside to F receiver at some point within their pro career. This is a very good crop of receivers to choose from. So that's a wrap for our 2017 FBGP Scouting Draft Prospect Preview presented by Crossover. To see more of our individual scouting reports, follow us on Twitter at FBGP Scouting and bookmark the page, footballgameplan.com/FBGP Scouting. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan, where you can get all of our scouting videos, mock drafts, pro day videos, and interviews with NFL draft prospects. And one more thing, subscribe to us on iTunes under Football Game Plan Podcast.